Hi everyone, hi and welcome back to another episode of Battle Rap Resume. Thank you so much for joining me. This is your host Tom Quee. Just before we get into today's double guests, which is quite an exciting thing to have on the show, this is our second kind of 2-on-2, I suppose. You know, Battle Rap embraced 2-on-2 in so many ways recently, but they've been around for so long. You know, Double Impact is one of the most recent things here. And Revival 5, Don't Flop's Revival 5, seemed to have a mirror to 2-on-2 tinge, but kind of fell apart, and sadly a lot of the big matches didn't go down, but you know, maybe they'll go down in the future. But this is our own embrace of that element. But before we get into that duo, I just want to say, if you want to keep in contact with the show, if you want to know what episodes are coming up, if you want to know about stuff, kind of, you know, news or any sort of fawning retweets, you know, people have said, I love the show, and of course I'm going to RT you. So please do that at battlerapresume. It's all one word. Also, get in touch, battlerapresume@gmail.com. We've got a Facebook group as well. We sell stickers. I'll keep ramming that down the throat. That's on the Redbubble account. We got the blog, you know, all that sort of stuff. All the avenues if you want to connect with the show any further. Maybe even leave an iTunes review. That would be really cool because that helps as well. But yeah, if you're on iTunes, please download more episodes. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe. Anyway, my two guests today, who I'm really excited to get involved in, and I hope you guys, this is Immoral and JC, by the way. How's it going, man? Jayce?
Yo, what's good, man?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Do you mind me sort of, I said this before, do you mind the fact that I kind of am embracing the idea that this is like an episode about the lower mid-tier?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I feel good you're calling us lower mid, to be fair.
Yeah, real shit.
No, man, you've had Don't Flop extra battles. You're both in the Don't Flop tournaments. Come on, you've got status of some sort.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, we got to discuss what type of sort of status that is.
Infamy, I think. You know, we'll get into everything, and you know, not only the battles themselves. Obviously, we're gonna touch on kind of the whole gamut, and you guys battled each other as well.
Yes, we did.
In a good performance. You know, like you know that is a decent match, and we'll get into that as well. It kind of forms a beautiful coda in the middle. But before we get into that, I guess just to help people get to know you, you are lower mid-tier. You know, people aren't going to have that kind of anecdotal battling knowledge that comes with like how you kind of know Arsenal or Kruger or whatever, you know. So
yeah,
I mean, like, where are your origins? Did you? I mean, I guess when did you guys meet? I mean, have you been friends for a long time, or is it newer relationship?
Basically, when I actually started up PW, after about 2 months, we went through to a local event. Don't know if you know Tenchu's League.
Yeah.
Battle Royale. Yeah, and we just sort of met Jayce there. We met a few other guys, Blabbermouth, all of them lot, and yeah, we sort of hit it off.
Yeah,
after a while.
Yeah,
there was a bit of a rival.
that was pretty much like Liam and Ben were running PW at the time as well, and then I was kind of being brought up through Tenchu, like Battle Royale and everything like that.
Yeah.
So that's where we kind of first met, and I was kind of like skeptical of it, but
right.
Nah.
Didn't like us, first of all.
Nah, it was one of those. I think it was more of a case that you choked that whole battle on the first time I ever met you. I was like,
come on, man, we weren't going to talk about that battle.
My bad.
So, Immoral, we'll jump into the battle. You know, against infamous Gunn, which is the kickoff. So, I mean, you say you're introduced as CEO of Poetic Warfare in the battle, kind of like how Grind Time had so many CEOs. You know, it's sort of a more common thing. But so you're CEO of this battle league. This is in Southampton. Like Poetic Warfare. How long did that league last? I mean, I appreciate anyone listening who probably isn't UK based might not be aware of the league. Maybe just, you know, people in the UK don't know the league. I know it's hard to admit, but you only have like 800 subscribers, don't you, on YouTube? So I mean, I'm not to say that it wasn't a big league, and there aren't some great battles on the league for sure. Like Bard killed it against Max Sherry.
Did, man. I love that battle.
You know, great battle.
So, what was the actual question again?
the question, I'm just getting to it slowly. I just wanted to kind of, you know, shout out Bard quickly. Yeah. But the question was like, Poetic Warfare, what was the lifespan? How long was it around? How did it start?
Yeah, so I believe it was literally around about a year. Probably didn't even reach about. I mean, it reached the year birthday. But
oh yeah, it did, didn't it? And then it ended, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I helped
Happy
plan
birthday.
I helped plan the birthday, but I dropped out a little bit before the actual event.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, I'm told it went quite well, but I didn't actually go to that.
Yeah. pretty much what happened with the birthday. The birthday event went okay-ish. We didn't get a turnout that we were expecting, which obviously if you're expecting high results, it's not always going to live up to the expectation, but that was kind of what it was. And then there was bits and bobs throughout the night that kind of deterred from the actual event. But
what sort of bits and bobs?
There was controversy between Lex and I think Temujin it was, and all that shit went down.
Yeah. Right. I heard a few things kicked off. Yeah.
Little fire happened outside, and all that shit went down. It was what it was. Right. It kind of all blew over.
Apparently, Jaqq passed out as well.
Oh yeah!
Oh my god!
Wow. No, Jaqq. Well, from what we could tell, he hadn't drunk or even like smoked anything. So why he was like that was kind of beyond us. We thought
the bars.
He was in hospital.
The bars.
The bars.
He was in hospital. I feel bad now.
He was in hospital for like 2 days, I think it was.
Oh, jail.
It was Jayce's door rebuttal. It was too much for him.
Yeah, man, that was
an incredible rebuttal. Like, I have to say,
it was.
I was aware of you guys kind of like. I mean, we all tried out the same event. Weirdly,
we did.
Which we'll get onto. I'm sure we'll discuss for Happening Park when we get onto it. But like, I knew you guys kind of tangentially and kind of like through the tournaments and stuff. It was excited to read it all. There's some dope writing here, man. You guys are really good writers. Like, you know.
Thank you, man.
You know, like Immoral, you surprised me with the punch count, and Jayce, the performance ability, and also this Titanic rebuttal against Danny Jaqq is so good. Like, was that really on the fly? I'm not questioning you. It's just like, wow.
Well, yeah, that was completely all.
Wow.
Pretty much, there was a conversation.
So can we just say the bar? Sorry. So I mean, Danny says in his verse all about the fact that you have this kind of door reputation, right? And you kind of counter it. You know.
I think the bar was something along the lines, using that door angle. That shit was tragic. Just seems to me you were using that door to stay afloat like Rose in the Titanic. I think it was.
Yeah.
Come on, you know
that was it.
I know, it's because I've watched that battle way too many times. That was a terrible battle, but hey.
You did good in that battle, man. Danny's a big scalp.
Yeah, but it is what it is. We'll get into that later.
We'll get
literally it was the conversation had like in the hotel room, like, oh yeah, what do you think he's going to come with? And I was like, oh, he's going to mention the door thing, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know, and somebody said to me, think of a rebuttal. And I was like, I didn't really think about it until I was on stage. And I was like, is he going to mention it? And as soon as he said it, I was like, okay. And obviously I do a lot of movie references and shit. And I was like, oh shit, that works really nicely. We'll chuck that in there. And it ended up working quite nicely.
No, it worked really well. And just before we hop into the battles themselves, I mean, where did battle rap start for you guys? I mean, we'll start with you, Immoral. Like, when was your first, awareness of what this thing was, and you enjoying it and, intrigued?
Literally, I think the first proper battle I watched was when I was in college. I think it was Mickey Worthless versus Tony D. So it was like,
so kind of early, kind of Fiddler's Elbow, yeah.
And literally, I didn't even focus on the bars at that point. I was just wondering what Tony D was doing with his hat. Like, the whole way
I want to watch that now. Like, what was he doing?
I haven't seen it, but I'm probably overselling it now.
Right.
I remember the whole way through just watching him. I'm just thinking, what is this guy doing?
Yeah.
But I believe it was a good battle.
Okay.
And then since then I just I don't know. I kept watching it. And then a lot of people from work, they were really into it, so it kind of brought me back into it. And then PW was born.
What was big at work? What were people watching?
Don't Flop and King of the Dot. They were huge with.
Right. Yeah.
I believe they all still are now. I'm not working there anymore, but yeah.
Sure. And Jay, what about yourself, man? How did this fire start kindling for you?
Pretty much like I was in, I think, year 11.
Wow.
And then exactly. One of our friends.
I wish I was that young when I got into battling. Like, that's a good age.
Oh, that was a good 5 years ago.
Right.
Pretty much a friend of ours went to a Red JSD event. So it was because we live quite close to Reading. So one of our friends went to the event and ended up somebody dropped out of a battle, didn't turn up, and he stepped in. So obviously that kind of went around the whole year.
Yeah.
Free Flow versus Bourgeoning, if anybody wants to watch it. Right.
It's
a weird ass battle, but it's funny as fuck.
Shout out Yorkz.
Shout out Free Flow, yeah. Shout out Yorkz as well, holding Red JSD down.
Right. Rogue.
So started obviously. Yeah, Yorkz, Rogue, and J Black, I think it was.
Rogue, I never really felt Rogue, to be honest. I always thought he was a little bit.
No, I liked him. He's a safe bloke.
Oh no, I'm sure he's a good guy, but he's kind of like a bad mixie.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Does he have kind of that like sort of mixed up vibe? But sorry, I interrupted you, sir.
Yeah, so pretty much, and me and a friend ended up doing a we decided like a day before a house party we were having, we're going to do a rap battle in the kitchen for the laughs. And we ended up getting through about a bottle of JD each, and I've got the video on YouTube, but that will never ever be released.
Right.
That is the messiest thing I think I've ever seen. And yeah, and it all kind of stemmed from there. Like a friend of mine's always told me, he's like, oh yeah, keep on going for it. I was like, always did. And now I'm where I am. Yeah,
no, totally, man. And where you are is, you know, battling at a high level here, but it begins with it begins with the Temujin class, but isn't your first upload a doubles battle?
Oh God, yeah. Jesus Christ. Pretty much what happened with that was I was meant to be battling Akkers at the Battle Royale event because pretty much Akkers randomly messaged me going, yo, would you want to battle me on Tenchu's League? I was like, yeah, I'm down. Because I wanted to get back into the battling because I hadn't battled for probably about a year. Right. I was like, I really want to do it again. So I went to the event, or I got a message for him literally probably about 1 o'clock in the morning, the day of the battle. And he goes, look, I'm not going to be able to make it. Something's happened at home. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I'm still going. I've got the hotel booked, train booked, everything. Cool.
Yeah.
Went down there. Tenchu was like, look, I still want you to clash. How do you feel about doing a freestyle battle? I literally outright terrorized him. Was like, look, I cannot freestyle for shit. And he was like, you know what? Do it. It's just for a laugh.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool.
If Tenchu tells you to do something, he's just like,
oh yeah,
he's wise,
like,
man.
It was weird because it was like Tenchu was one of these people that I looked up to.
Oh, he's amazing.
He was talking to me on a level. Was like, no, it's cool, man. I was like, Jesus Christ, it's really fucking weird. But pretty much what happened was I met the guys that I was been battling all of about 5 minutes before the battle, and I met the guy that I was battling with as I stepped in the ring. I was like, oh, yo, what's good? So I'm battling with you, yeah? And he was like, yeah, man. I was like, okay.
And what are your memories of that? I mean, because you can't freestyle, did you hold your own?
I think I did, actually. Right. That was the weird thing. Okay. Like, I had some really weird ass, like, Knight's Tail bar, I seem to remember.
Right. Okay.
And I remember Blabbermouth staring at my t-shirt because I was wearing strange clothing. Shout out strange clothing every time.
Yeah.
And he kept looking at it because it was a bear on a t-shirt, so he was looking at flipping it at some point. And I said I was getting scared because he was staring at me. I think he wanted to take it off or some shit. Right. And I was like, yeah, okay, we'll go with that shit. But yeah.
And then that led to your kind of tryout, formal tryout, we should say, with Temujin.
The year that I've been out of this, but the way I've come back to that magic, so I've changed from shit to gold like alchemist. So let's start round 2, and we can play Guess Who, and I'll put your whole image in question.
And again, that battle, weird kind of dance floor atmosphere. And your first round, that must be hard because not much reaction. I thought it was a good first round, but the crowd didn't seem to know what to do.
I think they didn't know really what to do the whole battle, to be honest. Like it was kind of one of those things, but like, outright I don't write for reaction, and I'm guaranteeing somebody is going to write, oh, it's because you get no reaction, and that's true. That is 100% true. But yeah, I don't write for reaction when it comes down to it. So I wasn't that fussed by it.
So
to be fair, Southampton crowds, like they were very like Battle Royale PW times. They were very strange.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I mean, unless it's a joke. Yeah, unless it's a heavy joke, they're not really gonna react at all.
No real.
Unless we're all just that bad.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's no. I know what you mean. Yeah, there is a slightly. Yeah. You think you just get people in the room for battles and like they would just enjoy themselves and embrace it, but the PW crowd were a bit, and this crowd is a bit as well. So, I mean, Immoral, we'll just kind of skip quickly through the tryouts before we get onto the meat of your better battles because we all need to develop styles, and it's not necessarily bad, but again, how are you approaching a tryout? Kind of how long have you been into battling, and how long before you battled? Have you had a few years, kind of thinking up bars or?
I mean, I was rapping since I was stupidly young with Ben.
Oh right.
I mean, me and him, like we'd known each other since. Yeah, Disfigure. Yeah, we'd known each other since year 3. So.
Right. I mean, and you started a battle rap league together.
Yeah.
It's like good for.
But yeah, we come up. We started a little bit of a grime team together, almost.
Sorry.
It's all good.
I know, I can't imagine it either, Jay.
There are songs somewhere on YouTube, but you're not getting our names. So
that's all right. I've got them all favorited on my YouTube.
But that's where the purple theme comes from as well, because literally every group that we were in, the theme was always purple.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what adapted it to PW as well, was the purple colour, the name of the event.
Just to go back to PW, because I'm kind of obsessed by the fact you guys started a league. It's so cool, regardless that you burned out and stuff like that. But like, what were you trying to aim? Was it just like you felt Southampton needed to be served by something a bit more professional, or?
I mean, first of all, we were literally just doing it on my rug in my front room. Mm-hmm. And it was just about a group of friends just having a laugh sort of thing.
Right.
And I mean, most of my friends, they weren't even into battle rap. And they all slowly got into it, and we started watching, they all started watching more Don't Flop and King of the Dot. And then I just said, look, we could do this. We could make an actual league. So about 2 weeks in, I get hold of Ben again, and we start trying to make a real event. Mm-hmm. And we ended up at Planet Sound with about 5 people in the crowd. Right.
Well, you got to start somewhere, man. Like.
Yeah, exactly.
And what happened? Why is the league disintegrated?
Basically, there was a few personal issues. Mm-hmm. A bit of an argument between me and Ben.
Yeah.
But the more league-based issue was actually to do with Jayce.
Oh shit!
Here we go.
No, we'd been at each other's throats for quite a while anyway. We're fine now, like, I should say that. And yeah, I mean, there was a lot of stress with it all. And then I wanted to get Jayce in as whatever. I just wanted to get him on stuff. And Ben didn't feel it was the right move at the time. And I kind of added him into our staff chats anyway, and we ended up getting into an argument, and I left and then got blocked out of everything. And then since then, we hadn't spoken for a while.
Wow.
And then, yeah, obviously he carried it on for a little while, and it's just died out now.
And do you have any urge to go back into any sort of, managing leagues or?
Not really. I mean, I do miss the whole hosting and running events, but I wouldn't go back to something like PW. I mean, I may have something in the future that I'm not really going to be talking about, but
right, no, yeah.
But yeah, apart from that,
and the name, sorry, Poetic Warfare.
Yes,
it's often derided, perhaps, as being slightly. I don't know. It's a bit on the nose, perhaps. Like, where does that come from?
I don't know. Me and a colleague at work were just throwing names at each other for this league that I was trying to come up with, and we just eventually stumbled to that, and I quite liked it. I don't know. I do think it is a bit too obvious.
I like the fact that it's called P-Dub, though. I think that's quite cool.
Yeah, I think Luigiano actually started the whole P-Dub thing.
Right.
I think that was after I left, actually.
Oh, yikes. Okay.
But,
I mean, actually, yeah.
Yeah, the P-Dub in the building, P-Dub on the map.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah, hearing you say it kind of like...
Yeah,
it's one of those things you say and you kind of think about it, this makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, but I mean, you need like a kind of organic smack kind of slogan, don't you, to kind of just DFAFD, like...
P-Dub on the building.
P-Dub in the map, let's go.
I mean... Shouts Louis, I mean, me and him haven't got a problem anymore. He's a cool guy. I believe he's battling for KOTR now.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I've seen him.
I saw him get bodied by Omar.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught that.
To be fair, no disrespect to him, but I was sort of expecting a complete 3-0 body in that battle.
Yeah. Omar's amazing.
He is. We had him on PW versus...
JAYCE.
What's his face? Yeah. And that was another body.
Yeah. Omar is incredible. His freestyle ability is just like, it's similar to that of, like, he reminds me a lot of Disaster. Maybe it's just a Canadian accent as well. But
it was the whole, when the camera died, and then he did his whole first round freestyling about the camera. It was fucking incredible.
Yeah, and I mean, talking of battlers, before we jump into the whole Don't Flop era, we all tried out the same day, which we'll kind of touch on. But I mean, P-Dub, like in terms of your own roster, who were the names that you fostered? Like, say, Omar is KOTR. Who were your sort of guys?
Who we got? We had Shapeshifter,
right?
Which I fucking loved Shapeshifter. He wasn't one for you to watch on camera and think, oh yeah, he's bar heavy. But when you watch him at an event, it was just I don't know, so entertaining to watch him.
It's similar to, as I say, Calcium Kid will hate me for saying this, but he has a very similar. I genuinely said this because we always said the
a poor man's calcium.
A poor man's calcium is
a calcium deficient kid.
Exactly. Wow. Oh, I like that.
That's good. No, but outright, we were trying. Like we said, the dream matchup would be. There's a joke. Like outright, the joke matchup that we would want is Shapeshifter versus Calcium Kid. I got a message of Calcium Kid. He's like, I'm actually kind of offended.
I remember you saying about
we never meant that in offense. It's just one of these things. It would be so funny to watch.
Right.
We also had Infamous Gunn, who definitely isn't a battler, but
he was an interesting performer. He was your tryout, wasn't he? He was
indeed.
I'll pull at this baby's head till you hear the silence of a baby's death in an instant, and every bar you conceive is a future abortion, like a parent with a heavy meth addiction.
He's one of my best friends. Like, he was just someone that I sort of dragged into it until we started building a roster, and then he started getting comfortable with it and quite liked it.
Yeah, he's battled quite a lot, hasn't he, on the league?
He has, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, Louis Giano, he's one of ours, I guess.
I quite like JAYCE.
Yeah, I like JAYCE. I've only seen one battle of it. I don't know if he's had any.
He's only battled once.
He's battled again. I think this weekend just been that we're doing this. KCR from what he was telling me at the running event.
Oh shit, he went on KCR.
Yeah, KCR.
Nice. Now, I want to see him battle more, man.
I think he battled Jay Cruz, and he had that kind of sarcastic, deadpan nature that was quite promising.
Yeah, definitely. We threw him Jay Cruz because literally, I think we planned for him to have about 3 or 4 battles, but all of them eventually no-showed him.
Oh.
So we was just like, look, we'll give you Jay Cruz, and the whole time he was saying he was going to get bodied, but I think he did well.
Yeah, and there's some great battles, as I was saying, Bard versus Max Sherry, Bard versus Conker, and, Jay, you bring this up in a later thing, but apparently Immoral will not stop going on about the fact that he battled Pedro, and that's
so many facts in this.
That's the most watched video on the Poetic Warfare channel with 15,000 views. Pretty good. What was that battle like? It seemed to come across at just an opportune moment.
Yeah, we started, me and Ben sat down, we started saying we need to start getting big names in, sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And we were messaging people and getting prices. And Pedro was like, he's not that expensive. Right. So yeah, we decided to get him on, and we was just like, we didn't know who was going to battle him. No one really wanted to sign up to die, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So in the end, I said, fuck it, I'll battle him, knowing that I was going to get killed. I had writer's block for ages. Luckily, he no-showed the first event, so it gave me a bit more time to write. Sure. It was just as bad as I thought it was going to be fair.
Was he just in full force kind of freestyle regalia, or did he come with bars?
I think it was, it was definitely all freestyle. It was full force. I thought he was going to hit me at one point where he was just so close. He was just in my face constantly.
Right.
And but no, he's a cool guy. He's a very cool guy. When he's in battle mode, it's another level.
It's just
his opening line just killed me. It was like, it sounded like you wear a grey hat, you wank to take that, and it was like,
yeah, that's money can't buy you love, but he can buy you Pedro bars, and that's
exactly. He also actually he hosted a battle with me as well.
All right.
Yeah, I think the second word in, he dropped an N-bomb, and yeah, he didn't actually seem to care. Someone shouted, "That's racist," and he was like, "No, he's a G, motherfucker." I was like, all right. Shouts Pedro, man. Pedro's fucking cool.
Oh, of course, shouts to Pedro. So we'll get into Rapping It Park, which was an event in 2015 where I tried out against Turner, and yourself, Immoral, and yourself, Jay, also tried out. Like, Jay, what do you remember? Like, had you been building towards this? Had Don't Flop been this kind of golden goose for you?
The thing was, like, when I first started it, and I I was only doing it for the laughs of it, and I was like, you know, it's just a laugh. I don't ever expect to get onto Don't Flop. I don't think I'm good enough. After the Temujin clash, I got because obviously I started working with Don't Flop Checkpoint 2.
Yeah.
So I started working with them, and I said to Chris, I think it was the Maple Fools event. I was like, yeah, I battle and stuff. And he was like, really? So obviously I sent him that. And then Chris and Danny actually watched the battle, and they were like, why have you never tried to try out? And I was like, I just don't think I'm good enough. I don't want to take that step up. And they were like, just do it. Just try it.
Yeah, why don't you want to take the step up, man? Surely you need to be hungry as a battler.
And the thing was, like, I didn't really, like, outright want to go for that far yet. Right. I see the standard that I watched on Don't Flop, and I was like, I don't think I'm that good.
Okay.
And outright, I still don't think I'm up to the standard yet. I need to obviously improve, but that is what it is.
Sure.
But I felt like at that time I wasn't ready. But they were like, just try it. And yeah,
you had a good battle, man.
Yeah, I got a message off BAM probably about 3 days after going through all the applications. And like, look, we're wrapping a part coming up. How do you feel about battle on this day, this place? I was like, yeah, I'm down.
No, it's a good battle, as Immoral says.
So let me teach you all that I'm a different breed. It's hoods up and tricks up my sleeve, using Distracts to get further in my mission. Like Ezio from Assassin's Creed, I'm dead.
Distract, by the way, he's dope in this. He's fucking dope in this. Like, his first is excellent.
Fucking is.
Like, really
first
good.
Incredible.
Really good. But like, how did it feel for you, just before we get into the bars themselves, stepping into that, it was a really hot day, I remember. It was near the Alexandra Palace. It was in some park, and, it was really great. Lots of people there and stuff like that. Lots of big names there. Shuffle's there, Tony's there, Kruger's there. Like, did you feel that pressure when you were performing?
When I was performing, not as much. Before the battle, literally, like, because I was there with Gavin, another steward, I outright said to him, because it was the battle before, I outright said to him, look, I do not know anything what I'm about to say. I don't remember any of the bars I've got.
Wow.
He's like, right, go over there, and we're going to go over them. So I went over him, was like, okay, cool, ready for it. Got in the ring, and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, why did I volunteer myself to do this? And as soon as I got that kind of, like, first bar out, I was kind of like, it's that first bar, and you're then into it, and you're like, right, there's no going back, you got to do it now. Like, I wasn't that nervous after that one, but the relief after that battle was beyond, like, I couldn't feel that ever again.
Mm-hmm. And your delivery is just brilliant, man. It's so powerful. You really get up in someone's face. You really have kind of just a convincing theatrical nature. Like, where does that stem from? Do you practice that, or does that just come out of you when you're performing?
I think, to be honest, like, it was just one of the whole style about it. I'm not kind of like a stationary person when I rap anyway. I like to kind of move about, because a lot of it comes through body language as well. Like, that's the whole kind of... I love
that watching Gemini's.
Oh, fuck you.
All that watching Gemini.
Oh, yeah. No, I think a lot
Big
of
up Gemini.
Yeah, man.
100%. Like, safest guy I've met. One of the safest guys I've met. But, like, on the real, just I felt a lot of it comes through body language, and I feel that, to be honest, that was probably the best way to be able to get it across, as well as what I was saying.
Yeah, and Diztract has, again, like we were saying, fantastic stuff. Poor Apartment, Flat Broke, I really like.
That was really slept on.
Yeah.
Like, I literally sat there, you just see me react, and I was like, Jesus Christ, that's nice. And then it was dead silence. I was like, come on, man.
Suffering causes brothers to do drive-bys out the same window of opportunity.
Oh, that bar, man.
Yeah. That was ridiculous.
Oh, that was so good.
And he just has this fluid Remy D like style that's fantastic. The whole, even let the D. But the one that I caught when I rewatched it today. You think you can catch it with my train of thought? I got locomotives.
I love that.
That's really good, man. That's just really, really nice. And then sorry,
the thing was, like, he was quite slept on actually at the event. I felt like that was one thing that I felt he was really slept on at the event.
You hung with him, man. It wasn't definitely, there was no disparity. Like, it was a good battle, and the comments themselves seemed to, in fairness, mostly praise Diztract well, but people are giving you a juice, man. You must have felt good afterwards, because you got your second round out, you got some good reactions. The crowd were digging you.
I think, to be honest, the thing was, I had never really written in shortened periods of time for a battle, and as soon as I found this out, I straight away was on it, and I'd written it within 2 days.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I've never written something that fast, and I was like, okay, what's going on? And when it came to actually doing it, I didn't do it how I was practicing it. I didn't slow it down at the bits where it needed to be. But I think that came from more inexperience than anything. And didn't do a lot of punchlines, which I got some reaction, which I was kind of happy with. Still all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still had a lot to learn on that day.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a great feeling, wasn't it, to get the tryout out the way and know that there's some good battles later on in the day, just hang out. It's all good.
Oh, God, yeah. Like, literally, you see me after my second round, and outright, I literally just cleared my face. I was like, thank fuck, I've just finished that. And I'm not stumbled.
Yeah.
That was one of the best feelings I think I've ever had.
And your rehearsal regime, like, are you just kind of practicing till you get it in your head, or what?
It's going to sound really pathetic. I actually literally have a mirror in my room where just a mirror that will probably have like the top half of my body, and I'll kind of practice everything into that.
Right.
And I'll be doing that at work, at everything. Like, I'll be sitting there rapping, and everybody's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Rapping."
I'll turn big T into a strong voice.
Oh my God! He has quite a fucking Gemini line as well, doesn't he? Yeah, because I was the chef at the time, so if we were quiet, literally, it was so easy. And the chef I was with at the time, he's still there now. Like, I've left there since all that, and yeah, he was all into his rap, so he was all like, "Yeah, let's hear it." So he's always giving me like nice feedback, which was quite a bit help as well.
Yeah, that's good, man. I mean, those sort of mentors, where you can find them, aren't they? And they, can provide invaluable. But Immoral, this tryout for you again, was this a big deal? I mean, it's got to be, right? Getting on flop.
It was huge. Like, I was so nervous. It was unreal.
Can end with brute force. Even before you take off, you're getting hijacked. Your flight path will end with a few corpses. So fuck the tower you built with them plain bars, because I've come to end the lives of anyone that knew Yorkz. So
I mean, we turn up in London, I think it's about 11 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't kick off till like 2-ish, probably, something like that?
Nah, it didn't. So me, Disfigure, infamous Gunn, and Disfigure's girlfriend, we just go around the shops just shouting our rounds to each other. And I mean, I had them all down. Throughout the whole day, I had them all down. And as soon as you step in that ring for the first time ever on Don't Flop, it just...
Oh my God.
And when said to me, "This is the first round of the day, you better not fuck it up," I was like, so much more pressure. And I mean, first round went well. It was bollocks.
No, I thought that was good. They and I mean, kind of, I've got to give you a little mark for plain bars, tower kind of stuff. But end the life of anyone who knew Yorkz.
Yeah, I mean,
you're battling Yorkz, would you say? But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was the delivery, I think, that ruined a lot of that. I mean, if you listen to it back, it sounds like I'm almost questioning myself as I say it.
Right.
Yeah.
And with the whole tower bars, I actually spoke to Cracker on one of the PW nights, and he was urging me not to do it. He was just saying, he was like, "I know these crowds, don't do it. It will get slept on."
Right.
And yeah, it got slept on.
So, in your opinion, the scene's been watered down like fruit juice?
Yeah, I thought that was alright.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. I still had a lot to learn, just like Jay said.
Yeah. Skip to your doom like Little Red Riding Hood was hard, though. I think
I like that. I mean, I look back and I still like that.
That is quite nice.
Yeah.
But no, apart from that, I didn't punch enough. I wasn't direct enough.
No, and then the second is obviously where the choke occurs quite quickly. I mean, and you call time very quickly. Like, it seems like you just want it to be over, or? Yeah,
I mean, the whole reason for the choke was, I mean, I've only told Disfigure this, but it was literally in the corner of my eye. And someone else was laughing. I mean, they could have been laughing at anything, but in my mind, like, my mind was going a mile a minute, and I was just like, yeah, I want this to be over.
Yeah.
So I started choking, and then I was just like, yeah, time.
It's tough to take, isn't it? Especially when you've like taken the coach up with Disfigure earlier, and it's hard to swallow.
But no, I still had a good day.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, man.
I wanted to go first just so I could chill out all day.
Yeah. No.
I mean, the pressure added as well. As soon as Shuffle was turning up, C Major turn up, it was insane. Tony D.
I know. Absolutely nuts. And then Yorkz, I mean, spends most of his second talking about how giant your mom's pussy is.
Yeah.
And he chokes as well, sadly.
He does.
And then Bam
his
kind of
first round, though.
Yeah, his first round wasn't bad, actually.
Brilliant. I loved it. Like the whole scheme about me looking like a monkey, which I've had a lot of.
Yeah.
But and then the
tips,
whole
Johnny Vegas.
Like I didn't piece it together until he dropped the PG Tips advert, and I was like, nice.
Yeah. He goes in on the name Poetic Warfare as well.
He does, which is the first time I assume that Don't Flop would have even heard of PW.
Yeah, it was a valuable introduction, and Yorkz bigs up Viewpoint as well, so that's maybe some added streams.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good day altogether, really. And I mean, in spite of the choke there, you do get invited back for the Disfigure battle.
You always look down when you rap. It's always happening. Because your main flaw with battling is it looks like you and the floor are battling. Let's go.
Which was a weird battle.
Yeah, I mean, can you just explain? I mean, you've mentioned Disfigure, you've known it since year 3. So what came along where you had to like settle your differences in rhyme form?
I was under the impression we were going to break each other down as battlers.
Right.
How wrong you were.
How wrong I was.
So we should say that, himself kind of introduces the battle as being like a big personal battle. He's like, let the personals please God commence as he introduces it,
I mean, I dropped like 1 or 2, probably somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously he unloaded a shit ton of, bearing in mind these personals weren't real personals. I'm actually a great dad.
Right.
But no, it kind of stemmed from the Yorkz battle.
Yeah. Like
he knew what kind of reaction Yorkz got with the wife leaving your kids or leaving you and you. So yeah, he kind of grew on that and shed a little light on my dad leaving and all of this.
Right, yeah, it gets a little uncomfortable, especially towards the end. But in the first, I mean, some good stuff in the first round. The whole Bran Stark when I land bars in that zone, don't need a giant to carry me.
Oh yeah. That's just because I knew he was going to mention the fact that my first win was with him.
Yeah.
We had a 2-on-2.
Right.
At the event that shall not be mentioned because it was an awful event for PW.
Hang on, so what is the event that you must name? You must mention it.
VK1. It was verbal combat.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Why was it bad?
I mean, the 2-on-2 went well.
Yeah.
Like, that was a good battle. It was a very good battle. I'm proud to be a part of that. But everything else just seemed to go tits up.
Yeah.
I mean,
it crumbled. It was one of these events. Pretty much, it was at the Avondale, which unfortunately is closed down now. Like that was where I had the 2-on-2 with on that Battle Royale event.
Yeah.
Pretty much, there was a DJ downstairs that we hadn't been told about. And obviously, he was playing loud as fuck music. And you could hear it in most of the battles. But the main things were of the night that ended up the camera broke and we couldn't fix it. I think it was halfway through the Omar battle. The camera broke, so we were like, okay, these lot were like, what the fuck do we do now? Plus, like, not gonna lie, none of the battles were up to standard that night. That was the first time I battled for PW and it will never be released.
Right.
Yeah, I think there was a very, very good battle that night. I think it was that night anyway. Was it the Blabbermouth and Rangaby one? Was that the VK one?
And that never got released.
No, it didn't get released because it didn't get saved on the camera. But it would have been the best battle to drop on PW. It was such a good battle.
At the time, man. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It was a great battle, to be honest.
And then obviously we had a good friend of ours, Nino, who was performing. And yeah, as he was performing, a lot of shit kicked off and pretty much everyone left. So he was just upstairs on his own.
Right. I mean, that does happen at these events, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No shade on Nino, but the thing was, like, I keep saying we, but I wasn't part of PW at the time. Like, they had been told all the sound equipment was all fine. But when it actually came to using it, it was awful. It was literally like, you know how you'd go to a concert, you record it on your phone and then watch it back and it'd be really muffled. It was sound quality like that coming out of speakers.
It's awful.
So, like, obviously, he was severely pissed about that, and it was just kind of one of these. You have those events that just crumble, and I think that was just one of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a learning curve, isn't it? I'm sure Don't Flop had tons of events early on that were disasters.
Probably,
exactly.
You know. So more randomness in your material. This is you're pointing to Disfigure than a patchwork quilt.
See, I like that, but
no, I like
literally,
that too.
The only person that reacted was actually I think.
Yeah, got it. I loved it.
Yeah. And but yeah, no one else just seemed to. I mean, that was the only good bar I think I had in that second round.
That's your first round.
Oh, wow.
Shit! Yeah. No, that's your
says
first.
a lot about my second round.
Your second's a little short. That's your first, and then the brand start closes your first, and then Disfigure.
Oh shit! Yeah.
You know, he goes in on your height. Thought he was battling Immaculate. You know, he's like, look at Tim Cook. Like he's like a sort of apple bar. It's quite nice.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that.
And then the whole, how could you outbar me when you're too lazy to become a father figure?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, this is quite like, are you guys still bros? Because like I've known people for like 10 years so, and I've never want to like battle them and like expose myself. Was it quite difficult?
No, I mean it was battle rap really, wasn't it? I mean, I know how cliche that sounds now, but
it's battle rap.
Yeah, but literally the way I saw it was like anything sort of goes. I mean, I'm not going to battle rap if I get offended by stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
But nah, it wasn't hard at all.
No.
It was. I mean, I probably wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't battle a friend again.
No.
But no, it was interesting. It was a weird battle.
More views, I think. It's quite an entertaining battle for sure. It's not, it's quite lively and interesting.
Yeah. How many views has it got now?
It's like basically stuck on the Don't Flop extra training days number of around 4K. Like, you know how battles just you're trapped in that number, like 4 6K, they never kind of... So, yeah, it's kind of stuck there. I mean, I like the second as well. You go on his content, Disfigure shows you can have your cake and eat it. The whole 2020 flip, the whole... You can envision yourself as the best by 2020, but how can you when you haven't got 2020 vision? And it's good stuff, but again, it's short. Like, do you just, like, write strict to time limits? Do you overwrite and edit too much? Like, what's the process coming in?
Yeah, I mean, from around that time period, I was writing a lot. Like there'd be long schemes, and then I get told that the time limits are quite strict, and then I panic and I cut things out. So it's almost like I do a 4-bar and then start a whole new scheme, and it just sounds a bit chopped.
Right.
But no, I that's what I'm trying to work on at the moment, is the transition in between schemes so it doesn't sound too strange, I guess.
And we should say, talking of growth as a battler, you're currently involved with the Headhunters tournament?
I am indeed, yeah.
Which Don't Flop haven't done much promo since they've recruited it, but that's pretty exciting to be on board with that.
Oh, it really is. I'm not going to Jayce happen.
So, Jayce, we should say you were in the first round, but you lost,
I was
unfortunately.
Indeed.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm not sure if we're allowed to be like writing on our Facebook or anything yet.
No. I mean, we don't have to expose. Oh,
no,
right.
You are.
That's right. I was going to say. Oh right, because literally I haven't seen anything about it. Like,
no,
I was expecting an announcement or something like that.
Yeah, are they doing episodes though, rather than battles? Aren't they doing it as a series or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously there'll be battles, but I think I remember him saying it's like a kind of documentary of it's going to follow us around to, I guess, grow the fan base quicker of the winner.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going up to London on Saturday to have an interview with them and find out my next opponent.
Wow, and I mean, so who was there? Who was entering? Was it mostly people like you who've been on Don't Flop a little bit, or was it newer heads? Or
there was a few people, I believe, that had been in it before.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a guy, I don't really know of him, but there was a guy called How To.
Right.
Did he be on it before?
Apparently he battled before, and he said something in his bars about being mentioned by Soul.
Oh,
right. But I'm not really too sure.
Why would Soul mention him?
I have no idea. It was something about him being good or something like that. I really can't remember.
Soul Call be shit.
Yeah.
Let's go. Soul Call be shit on the daily.
I mean, the guy was alright. But there was a lot of people that obviously hadn't battled before.
Right.
I mean, there was one guy, Motif. I think his name was Motif.
Right.
Bro.
It was so fucking good. Literally, have you seen the footage, Jayce? Like, have they shown you?
No, but from what I've heard,
I don't know how old he seemed like he was quite old, right. But he was just stood there and he was like, "It's funny. You need your mummy. You look like the Easter Bunny," and then he chokes.
Oh no.
And we were all just looking is this guy for real?
Yeah.
And I mean, the other guy he wasn't too bad. Like, I don't think he got in, but
didn't he ask to leave the public place as well? He turned around.
Yeah.
Am I right to go now?
Motif asked Chris if he could go. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Everyone afterwards was literally like, I didn't get told about that until afterwards in Nando's, and they were just like, it's a fucking public area, of course you can leave. I found it so fucking funny.
So that wraps up the Disfigure battle, and Disfigure wins in the end.
Yes.
I mean, was that important? Did you want this victory, or were you just glad to have the battle done?
I mean, I kind of thought I won that one. Like, personally I don't care about wins or losses. I just want to grow as a battler.
Yeah.
But I did feel slightly robbed. I think it was down to shock factor, obviously.
Yeah.
But nah, I mean, it wasn't too important to me. It was a good battle. It helped me realise as well with what I'm good at, with aspects to battling. I mean, I punched a lot more. I was a bit more funnier. So it kind of took me through to my Jayce battle.
Yeah, that Uncle Ben bar. That was a pretty big bar.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I just kind of took what A did and just made it even cheesier, I guess.
No, it's a room shaker, like low key.
It is, yeah. I mean, I've seen it quite a few times, I'm not going to lie.
Of course
if you look in the back, you see A just going nuts about it. Like, he starts giggling, and then you can see it just catch him. And
that's the sort of punchline he'd love. So it is a really good punch. So we'll get into the next battle, Jay, and talk us through like battling Immoral.
Grabbing the air is just awkward. It amazes me, Jayce. You reckon when you're out there training ballet, everyone's getting gassed up because your retarded arms help display what you say? Nah, they're all trying to figure out what the movie is. Because it really looks like you're playing charades.
Had you known Immoral for a long time before you guys, the twain shall meet, you finally came together?
We knew we were battling each other before the Disfigure battle. Right. Before he battled Disfigure. Like, the whole thing about it was, like, we'd pretty much, I got a message off Liam going, yo, do you want to get involved with it? And I was like, yeah, I'm down. So I actually got put up against Luigiano first. Right. And after the VK1 event, there was some shit that there was some shit that kind of happened. So it was like, okay, we're not going to let that battle happen. So it's like, all right, cool, whatever. I'm down for whatever. And then Liam hadn't got an opponent yet, or he had, but they were a bit not sold on who he was meant to be battling. Mm-hmm. So
I can't remember who I was meant to.
Jean-Mapel guy? I can't remember. He was some French name guy.
No, Junior Lapel. Yeah.
Yeah, it was something like that. But so I was like, yeah, screw it, I'm down. But I made the mistake of not writing until probably about 2 days before the battle. Uh-huh. That is my biggest regret. Like, that is genuinely one of my biggest regrets.
Yeah, that's crazy. How can you limit yourself like that? Like, what's going through your head?
It's only immoral.
It is immoral not to practice like this.
Like, I kind of underestimated that. I'm not going to even lie. That was the big thing. Like, I was kind of like, it's only immoral. It's fine. But
yeah.
No, that's no disrespect to you at all.
No, I feel that.
No, and this is corruption.
Oh god, yeah.
Big event.
It was.
But the event marred by the background music quite badly.
Oh, it was.
Pretty much when they went to get the
when Nelly comes in on your battle. Oh no.
Oh yeah, and Nelly comes in on our battle.
Yeah,
who does?
Nelly does. It sounds like a drop.
Yeah,
like mid bars.
The high in here. Yeah. It's quite. So we should just say, there is very loud music pumping in the back. It is quite a shame, but nonetheless, it's a decent battle between the two of you. And Jay, even though you had 4 days prep, I think you both have a good slugfest here.
I think it was probably despite the voice, I think it was one of the most fun I actually ever had in a battle, because I was kind of there and I was like, you know what, let's have a bit of fun with this. And
it was a fun battle, man. It was a really fun battle.
Yeah, it was. And you start your first, basically calling him a punching bag, sort of saying, they say you're getting your hunger back, and sort of how you go on his like how he, sort of no one feels your bars apart from how he awkwardly feels his bars. Fuck off with your bars back to a bar and get a room, So Jay, I mean, are you aware of PG stepping?
Oh yeah,
right. So, I mean, it feels like you're on URL at times. I mean, that's not a bad thing, but
I think it's just kind of, as I said, with the body language, I'm kind of all about moving about a lot more, and I can't do it without kind of recently I've kind of done it there's a sort of rhythm in my head that I'm trying to go by when I'm rapping, and it's making me kind of, my body is not in kind of control of itself. That's just some real dumb shit to say.
Immoral says you have retarded arms, and apparently you look like you're playing charades. So
yeah, man, I'm trying to act out the bars, isn't it?
Yeah. But no, I mean, this is a really funny round on your side, Immoral. I think this is one of your best rounds. It is just thank you, man. It kicks off
this is the
it was the birth of the door thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. And weirdly, now in one of these weird moments in the history of battle rap, which is just odd coincidence in the background and whatever. Okay, so you, Jay, you open with a flip about the door, and as you say that, you're saying now I'm closing yours. You said open yours. Behind you, a door audibly opens and closes. Visibly.
No way.
Yeah, literally, as you say that bar, look in the background, some guy leaves or someone enters or some shit. It's very weird, man. My dog thinks he's ill, only right I should put you down. The whole scheme's really hyped there. I was going to put you on a pedestal, but I'm surprised you can fucking reach. The wording at the end of only person in this room on personal terms with Tarzan, that's just kind of a weird line, right?
I think nobody understood it. It was one of these things because he looks like a gorilla. So I was like, okay, because obviously everybody's touched on, you look a bit like a monkey. I was like, okay, you look a bit like a gorilla, just like the size and stature a bit, and then go on about Tarzan. I was like, it was one of those things I have no idea what to close this with, and I was like, that sounds all right. Let's put that in there.
Tarzan bars, bruv.
Tarzan bars, man. Yeah.
To be fair, I'm not on personal terms with Tarzan at all.
No, not anymore.
Nah.
Not be a midget. We know that's not true.
Well, you say you're 5'5" at the start of your second Immoral, so I mean, you're infusing that you're not a midget, just kind of.
Oh yeah.
Is that? And then you talk of Lex as well, and wanting to battle Lex.
Basically, me and Lex, we've got a very love-hate relation, and we've always said we'll battle each other. But I say we both said for a long time it was me just wanting to battle him.
Right.
And but yeah, there's still talk about it now that we'll eventually battle, and I'm sure we will. But I called him out in probably the worst way. It was quite a bad bar.
Yeah, slightly.
I mean,
so when I cut him off, you weren't really Lex to stand on.
Yeah. Awful.
Yeah, and this is when the Nelly, with a little bit of and that sort of kicks in the background, sort of as you're performing, and
that's what we all come for, just to hear Tom singing, man.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was near enough a filler round.
I like the whole general waste, recycle, garbage you spout. That's a nice closer.
I feel like I stumbled on all of that, and where it went quite quiet.
The music's quite overwhelming, isn't it?
Yeah, it drowned me out quite a bit. Yeah. One bar I did fill in there that I actually wrote was the I can't remember. It was something to do with Jaqq and the Beanstalk.
Yeah.
You'll get Jaqq after you've been stalked. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I just felt it was very long-winded, building up to that.
Yeah. It was ironically a giant setup. So
Nice.
Jay, the Tom Hardy and Warrior line is dope in the second kind of break.
That crickets apart from Danny.
Yeah, no, that's a bar. That's a bar.
The thing was, I was actually watching Warrior, and I was like that night when I was literally sitting there writing, one of the nights I was sitting there writing, I was like, you know what, that is way too perfect not to kind of put in, because I was watching it and it was that part as well. I was like, hang on, wait a second, this pretty much is exactly kind of the whole of this second round.
How do you watch an MMA fight and think, yeah, that's Liam and Ben?
Bro, literally, I watch anything. I'll be sitting there like, what can I put into a bar about this?
So just Netflix and chill.
I mean, you talk about the whole Disfigure battle that we could just cover, but the whole brother twisted your arm to get a win. Like, it's hard, man. Very hard. And then going in on sort of, kind of what furrow Disfigure ploughed before, sort of how he's spending more time at battle events with your kids.
After saying that you wouldn't, like literally, you said, no, I don't need to mention that. And then it's like,
I know.
I'll just mention the fact that you don't spend time with your kids.
Yeah. And then you say that, he should have just stuck your dick in that pig's mouth, like David Cameron.
Oh, that was a bar.
Yeah.
That was such a bar.
Yeah, that was nice.
I'm not even gonna lie. I regret ever putting this in this round. I felt so bad about it. Like, I've never really felt bad about a battle, but I came out the other side after watching it. I was like, I really feel bad about that.
Right. Well, I mean, Jay, Immoral, you're cool with it, right? I mean, it's not.
Yeah, I'm cool. I mean, she's probably seen it. She's probably not cool with it.
Right.
Just don't let your kids see it.
Nah.
Have your kids watched your battles?
We were on YouTube and they saw me stood up against Disfigure on one of the thumbnails. Yeah. And they kept saying, oh, it's daddy. And they wanted me to click on it, but I was pretty sure there was too much swearing, so I just said,
Yeah, no, that's smart. I mean, maybe when they're a little bit older, but I mean, Jay, the whole sort of, you compare Immoral to Peter, Family Guy, and you to Brian.
That was terrible.
That
was terrible.
Well, the problem is, and Immoral, you seem to cut on to this as well. You say, Jay, that no matter how many times they kill me, I always come back, but you're effectively admitting that they always get killed, aren't you?
Oh no, I'll never deny that. I would never ever deny that. Right. Like, outright at the time, like, I was always getting beaten. Like, I hadn't won a battle apart from that 2-on-2. I have never won a battle up until that battle. That was why I kind of said it. It was like one of these things. Every time I lose, I always come back. Like, it never kind of kept me down. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
This was my battle life too, man. I'd only won
I'm reading way too far into it. Like, on my own bars, I never meant to mean like that. It's like a fucking English lesson.
No, I liked it. I seriously liked it, man. And the third for you, Immoral, is your video game bars. The whole got you jumping platform with your boys like this was Abe's Odyssey.
That's fine.
Talking that Madoc shit, like, CJ coming back after another death, like San Andreas.
That slaps on really hard.
Seriously stepped on. And the Soul Calibur bar, I mean, there's been quite a few Soul Calibur bars, but...
Yeah, Jayce told me after the battle, he was like, I didn't think it was after the battle, I think it was a few days later. He's like, you realise that's been said a lot. Yeah. And then I've literally seen it crop up everywhere. And it was even before I'd said it, so always stay biting.
Yeah.
The thing with this round is Liam outright says to me that the only thing you do is quote the what's it called, game name.
Yeah, you don't actually reference the
exact same thing.
Right.
That was the point, man. That was the point. It was like, all you do is like, you don't reference things. You just say the title.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do that.
And then in your third, Jay, I mean, you start by asking you rhetorically, what even Immoral does in the league. If you're going to battle on your own league, don't lose every battle.
I ate my words off that one.
Real shit.
Yeah. You talk about the ignorant little pricks that, take the shit for granted. I mean, your performance level's big here. You got a decent attack. You keep going on and on. You end up kind of shouting, telling Luciano to keep his fucking name out of his mouth, or...
Yeah, pretty much. This, as we said about the VK1 event, this is kind of what happened. Apparently, outright, I was watching the battle. I got about half the battle. I was like, I really need a shit. So I came back. All of a sudden, everybody's like, "Oh, so Luigiani called you out. What are you gonna do about it?" I was like, "Did he?" I was casually sitting there on the couch. I was like, "Yeah."
I can't even remember.
Yeah.
Who was he battling?
JAYCE. No, Shapeshifter, because he quite choked everything, didn't he?
Oh shit! Yeah. Did he call you out?
Apparently so. I haven't watched the battle.
Neither have I.
Oh my
God.
And in terms of this battle, Immoral picking up the win there, well deserved in your eyes.
I think I'm not even gonna lie. Like at the event, I was so pissed off. Like at the result, I was so irritated. Like I was kind of like, come on!
We spoke about this so much.
We spoke about it so much. Like Danny outright turned around to me when he heard the like outright said to me that I think you won that. Then as soon as he heard the or got whispered the result, he obviously looked really surprised. I was like, okay, I've lost this. That's fine. And then when it was a 4-1 decision, like on watching it back, I 100% agree with it.
Wow.
Like 100%, I definitely lost that battle.
Why do you think that? Because I mean, like, you could argue it either way, and I probably agree that Immoral took it. But in your eyes, why were you so sure back then?
What, that I took it or
yeah, that you took it?
I don't know. I just feel like I gave a lot more performance. Maybe it was just in the room. Like I felt a lot. I don't know. I just felt a lot more energy in the room. Like everybody was kind of feeling me. I think it was one of those. You feel like you win it in the room, but then on camera, definitely not.
I'll be honest. When he was about to say the decision and he said 4-1, I genuinely thought you.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, in the room, I felt like you won it on the day, sort of thing. But watching it back, you got fucked, mate.
Okay.
So we'll get onto the final battle. This is against Danny Jaqq.
Whereas my pen, progressing, punches, multis, man of a fame. Whereas you still only try and produce the body by using other people's features like Frankenstein now.
You and Danny Jaqq, you're good boys, aren't you? You're pretty close. That's how this battle thing.
Yeah, we call out a battling as well. But the whole thing about this battle, everybody's like, "Oh, Jayce begged for this battle." Actually, it's complete opposite. Like me and Danny. No, I'm not saying beg for it. I'm not saying beg for it at all. I'm okay,
please, Jayce, battle me.
Please, Jayce, battle. Yeah, that's what everybody's saying nowadays. You know what I mean?
Gemini.
Thank you, bro. No, pretty much. Me and Danny were talking at Corruption because obviously he was hosting, and I think there was talk about me and him battling, and we were speaking to her at the time, or Rowan, whatever. Like we were speaking to her at the time, and he was like, "Yeah, we'll do it at the end of the next year if you two are down for it." And I was like, "Yeah, 100%." So obviously we were like, "Okay, we'll do it." Then I get a message from Danny probably about 2 days later saying, "Look, I don't want to do it on DF because I'll kill you on crowd alone."
Right.
Which I thought was fair, to be honest. I was like, "Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean." And he goes, "Look, do you want to battle me at the birthday?" And bear in mind, this is probably about 4 or 5 days after Corruption that we got this. And then I get a message from Liam and Danny, both of them in a group chat, and I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'm 100% down for it."
Right.
And I
outright didn't ask for it. Let's get that straight. I did not ask for that battle. That was one of these ones that kind of just came along from somebody actually wanted the battle.
But it's a big,
I know you
big battle to have.
Wanted
the intro. He's a big scalp to have, even though maybe he's not on his kind of, whatever J Dillon, Max Sherry form. It's still Danny Jaqq, TD, big host.
But outright, like I said to him, I can't remember where I was even going to go with this. But yeah, it was one of these things that I said to Danny, he was one of the people that I want to battle.
Yeah.
Because I set myself a goal every year to try and get a certain battle that year. And Danny was the one that I was aiming for within the next year. And I got him quite early on within that year. Yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. And we'll just take it and see how it goes, and then we'll kind of assess what we're going to go for next.
It's enormous, man, and I really like your first talking about the Columbine angle, here to take out the Dean.
Yep. I got told by a lot of people to take that out because they're like, it's not that good, man. It's not that good. I like it, dude.
I like it. I liked it as well. Your performance is great, really refined here. Producer body using other people's features like Frankenstein. Choke in front of this Arsenal like JC.
That was the thing. That got crickets because I don't think anybody in the room would have watched Birth of the Brave. No one would have watched it. I think the only person that kind of got it was Willsy and Danny. And I was like, I can live with that.
Right. Always got someone by you helping you write your lines like a retarded kid.
This was really weird. I was speaking pretty much. Something happened in an exam.
Right.
And I don't know why it struck, but I just felt kind of like the whole concept of somebody else writing Danny's stuff would be a funny little thing to play on. And I was like, okay, think of kids in an exam. Like, or not necessarily the retarded kids. Like, that's a really harsh way of saying it. But the kids with special issues. Always at the back of the hall, always got somebody writing for them. Yeah. So I was like, okay, that's a good analogy to use, or we can just slap that in there, and it works.
Such a complex way to think about it.
Literally, if you ever look at the way I think about things, it just doesn't make sense.
And Danny kind of, stumbles over his bars a little in the first, and he doesn't do bad. A lot of favourite band is The Doors, Dorothy Perkins. It's like, anyone can kind of write this.
To be honest, I think he took round one, but I feel quite sorry for Danny as well. Like, the whole commotion that happened at Purple happened just before our battle as well.
Right.
So it didn't help that kind of all of us, because me and Danny were speaking about it, like, we just wanted to get it over and done with now. Like, we were kind of getting irritated by people, and it was like, I just want to get this done now.
Yeah, no, totally. And the Gemini comparison in his first, like, do you see that?
I never saw the Gemini comparison. I've never seen it. I've outright said it. And me and Gemini have spoken about this. We do not see any comparison. But then as soon as I was speaking to Sol the other day, and he was like, you sound exactly like Gemini. I was like, you're a prick.
I literally only said it because everyone else said it.
I know.
The champ says it.
Just copy the idea, dude.
Exactly.
The flip as well in your second, the whole, we took it over the floor, but, the Titanic flip is absolutely hard as fuck. And, really good performance by you, man. This seems like you're making big strides as a battler from the Temujin battle.
Yeah, man, like, huge shouts out. I'm not even going to lie. Like, you'll realise in a lot of my, like, the battles before the Danny Jaqq battle, I would have had no multis at all.
Right.
I didn't know what a multi was until like 2 months before the Danny, or probably a month or a half before the Danny battle, because I was sitting with Bam and he was like, do you not know what a multi is? I was like, no. And he was outright, right, we're going to have to teach you what a multi is to be able to. And he was the one that taught me
Bam gave you like a sort of multi-clinic.
Oh, multi-clinic and how to write a punchline as well. Like, that's like, huge shouts out to Bam every time. He helped me a hell of a lot. That's cool. Him and Jordan, like, two of the friends, we always used to sit there playing games and shit and then going over stuff. Like, it was brilliant.
That's cool, man. That's really cool. So that about wraps us up. But I want to ask you quickly, Jay, about the top 8 tournament. Like, that's exciting to be. At this moment in time, hasn't kicked off yet, but everyone's been announced for it. Who are the top 8 again? There's Lex, Ambi, Yorkz, Bizzo, yourself. There's a few of us.
Goods. Conquer, Goods, and A.
That's right. Do you know who you're battling yet?
Yeah, we knew who we were battling pretty much. As I was the last person to be confirmed, because pretty much Danny had a last spot. Let me quickly clear this up as well, because a lot of people obviously have kind of gone off on one that I'm in it. I got my headhunter's email saying, okay, unfortunately you haven't got through. Fine, whatever, that happens. I then got a message from Danny probably all of about 5 minutes later saying, look, I've got a big opportunity for you. Do you want me to tell you what it is now or later in the car? Because we were all going to Brighton because he was performing anyway. So I was like, fuck it, just tell me now and then we'll speak about it later. He was like, right, I'm running a top 8 tournament on training days. Do you want to be part of it? And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. 100%, I want to be on it because it's a massive fucking opportunity. Like, when you get offered something like that, you wouldn't turn it down. So I took it. Obviously found out who else was involved, and then I found out who I was against, I think about half an hour later.
Wow.
But the thing was, like, we spoke to Danny about this that night as well, like, saying, what are the reasonings you put me in it? And he said he rates me. That's fine. But I've now got a point to prove in that top 8. I know for a fact I can win this first battle.
Right.
That's. I think
so it's against Yorkz.
See, I'm not even gonna lie. Yorkz is the one person I don't want to battle in this tournament.
Right.
He is the one person I don't want to battle because of the simple fact he will go on that door angle for 3 rounds straight, and I will not be able to spit a single thing.
So what happens if you win? Which I mean isn't unfeasible. You are a dope battler, man. Like you are. Like you're playing yourself down, but I think you fully deserve this spot. And like you say, you got the chip on the shoulder now, which is going to push you forward.
Oh
but
God, yeah.
If you win and then you battle Jaqq, like, can you imagine?
And the thing is, I haven't even pictured myself winning. I'm taking it round by round.
Of course.
The whole thing, looking at the matchups, every single matchup is near perfect. And it could go either way on nearly each matchup. And I'm sitting there thinking, realistically, I don't see myself getting past round 2. Like that, because there's a quality of battlers in there that obviously I don't obviously hold myself up to. But if I get there and I win it, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And if I battle Jaqq, I've already got 1 bar prepped because I was randomly writing random shit and it came up with a Jaqq bar.
Oh shit.
So let's go.
Yeah.
Jaqq. The battle is never ever gonna happen.
I genuinely hope you end up battling Bizzo. That would be a nice battle.
It'd be an interesting battle.
Yeah. I want Ambi Goods as well.
Ambi Goods.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, I think that
would, man.
Battle. I'm trying to think of what some of us good. Conquer Ambi could be quite good as well.
Conquer Ambi would be interesting to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give anything away during this whole thing. Like,
no, of course not, man. Of course not.
But Conquer Ambi would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be a really good. That really could be an amazing battle. So we'll just wrap up with some quick fire questions, guys. The first one being your favourite don't flop battles. What are they? One each.
Do you want to go first, or
please?
We get 1 each. All right.
Oh my.
So
do I go for the obvious or
whatever comes to your head, man?
I'm gonna go with.
Can I have 2?
You can have 2.
All right. So I'm gonna go with the obvious. Soul versus C major.
Oh yeah, amazing.
Insane bar fest.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I really like Old English versus Jaqq.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, Old English could have came better, but Jaqq 3 rounds of dope.
Yeah.
See, I disagree with that. I think Old English came exactly how he needed to.
Right.
Old English kind of schooled on him. I feel.
Wow.
Maybe
really?
it was just not he schooled on him, but kind of clowned on him more than
his opener.
If you just look at it, like
his opener was good.
What kind of grown man's called Rebel?
It kind of dulled the whole of Jaqq's first round.
It did. It really did.
Like, it kind of took away the whole.
But the fact that Old was sweating and had to take off his jacket because he said on this podcast that he was scared, like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
Jaqq's got the upper hand, yeah. Check out BRR 8, I believe, with Old, who's left the league now, right? Old English. He seems to have beef with the league, and oh man, what a shame.
I believe so, yeah. That is a shame.
Dropping like flies.
Hopefully he'll come back.
So those are your 2, but Jay, what's your favourite?
Obviously Soul C Major is going to be up there because that was one of the first battles I saw as working for DF. But personally, for me, most Prob versus Soul, because that battle, they were both there just having a great time. That's the kind of vibe I like in a battle.
Yeah, no, that is a wonderfully good battle. Like, yeah, ridiculous bars from both. Do you guys have King of the Dot favourites?
Roan versus Goods.
Nice.
Definitely. Oh, definitely.
American Morning Goods.
Yes. That is the bar.
Yeah. That bar's amazing.
I think I'm going to have to go with, I'm going to have to be the obvious one. Hollow the Don versus Pat Stay, just because everything gets me gassed in that so badly.
Backstroking.
The backstroking bar. Every time I'm sitting there, just like screw face, and everybody's sitting there watching that.
I don't know if you know Chef Trez. He's like an up and comer. He's been on like URL and stuff. He had the same bar, weirdly, about a year ago. Someone pointed out, the same backstroking bar, and people aren't sure if Hollow bit it or whatever, but just Chef Trez is dope as well. And coming on to that, URL, do you guys watch URL?
I've only just started watching. I feel like I should kind of branch out a little bit more.
It's dope. Honestly, anyone that looks down on URL doesn't like get battle rap. It's just a great element. Like,
exactly. I mean, I watched Ava versus Real Deal.
Right. I haven't seen that one.
I quite liked it. I think Real Deal, like, his performance was fucking, I don't know, it was another level.
Yeah, he's a great performer, man. He's a great seller.
Oh, he is. And just the multis he was stringing off as well. Like, yeah, like Sonya Blade, something about Aerosmith and Walk This Way.
Nice.
It was,
Nice.
it was nice, man.
Jay, anything you recommend on URL?
The problem is I don't watch a lot of Euro. I
Right.
like some of the battles on there. They have some decent shit on there, but it's just kind of like length. I just don't.
Yes, yeah.
I don't have the attention
know.
span. I don't have the attention span to sit there for probably about like an hour watching one battle.
Yeah.
Like
Fair
even
enough.
with Don't Flop battles, I'll sit there, watch maybe 2 rounds of a certain battle, and go on to another 2 rounds of another battle, and then maybe come back to that one maybe about 3 or 4 hours later.
Right.
It's one of those things.
Yeah, no.
That's literally. Sorry, go.
No, it's fine, man. That's what happens to you.
I was going to say that's literally why it's so hard to get new people into battle rap sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like you sit them down and they're like 45 minutes of this.
Yeah, I know. Well, you don't sit them down for URL straight away, but I know what you mean. Yeah, it can be quite lengthy. So, final 2 questions. The first question is very simply, what are your favourite films?
Oh, okay. I've definitely got mine. Shaun of the Dead. I can recite that film
Nice.
in fucking entirety. I love that film to bits.
That's
Mine.
Yeah.
Mine's kind of between Rise of the Foot Soldier and The Warriors.
Right. No, Warriors. Nice. Yeah.
Is it bad? I've never seen The Warriors.
Too many times. Oh man, you need to watch it.
Yeah.
Have you ever played the game?
No.
Oh, the game is incredible.
I need to check that
I
out,
literally.
man.
Oh yeah, play it. It's on PS2. I've got it on my
Goat
PS3
console,
now.
man. Goat console PS2. Like, just
yeah.
classic. And finally, guys, your favourite band or musical artists that aren't in any way hip hop related?
Oh wow.
Oh, jeez. I'm going to say Hollywood Undead. Like
Nice.
those.
Oh nice.
Hollywood Undead are one of, like, I literally just seen them probably about 2 months ago with one of my best friends, and it's one of those bands. Them and Linkin Park are the 2 bands that we've always seen and kind of been going with together. So it's just one of those things. It's one of my favorite ever bands. I still listen to them daily now.
Decent.
I
And
think I'm
Immoral?
going to go. I think I'll go the opposite way. I'm going to say either early Maroon 5 or
Right.
early Blink 182.
Yes. Definitely early Blink is.
Maroon 5, let's go.
Maroon 5.
man.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
When
What?
you just caught what you said as I
Maroon 5
on that Adam
banging,
Levine
man.
shit, man. Like,
Recently though, they're bullshit.
songs about
Bro, I
Jane.
could just
Old shit back in the day was fucking fire.
I could just see you jazzing out in your fucking front room.
Just fucking singing into a broom.
She will be loved.
Exactly, she will be loved.
Right, guys. Well, that's dope, man. I mean, how can people find you on social media and that?
Oh god, I don't even know what my
Twitter?
Twitter is anymore. It's something like immoral _PW, so I might have to change that.
You might have to change that.
Yeah.
But if,
TW's dead.
yeah, if you guys want to follow my personal one till then, I think it's just Leo May Bartlett.
Right. And Jay, you got a Twitter on there, haven't you?
Yeah, got Twitter at Charlie Jayce. So
Yeah.
basic shit.
Yeah.
But
man.
yeah, and yeah, find me on Facebook, Charlie Jayce Phillips, all that good shit.
All right, dope, man. Well, that about concludes the episode. So I just want to say thank you to you guys.
Thank you for having us on.
No,
Thank you.
no, man, this has been great. This has been really, really good. And thank you to everyone for listening. At BattleRapResume, BattleRapResume@gmail.com. Subscribe to us, like the videos, get in touch if you want to, and go on the shop as well. Check all that stuff out. Go on the channel, check out the old episodes. But yeah, thank you guys again, and we'll catch you next week.